In what seems like forever ago, I came home to a phone call from from a hospital in Wichita, Kansas, and on the other end of the line was my sister-in-law. She told me that my brother was in the emergency room and he was brain dead. He had been shot in the back of the head by one of his employees. And I did the only thing I could think of doing, and that was pack a quick bag. I was living in Dallas. And rush up to Wichita as fast as I could. But he died while I was on the way up there. And my other brother, who was alive at the time, had just gotten to my parents' house, as had I. And we were up all night waiting to go to the hospital when everybody got there. And the newspaper, the Wichita Eagle newspaper, hit the front door. And on the front page of the newspaper, there was a story about 2 killings in basically a construction supply pit, gravel pit area in Mulvane, Kansas, a suburb of Wichita. And it was a story about my brother, the foreman of the company my brother owned, and the man who shot them both to death with a pistol. I can remember I was standing at the front door of the house, looking outside, watching the sun come up, thinking about life without my brother. And my other brother was reading the story. And I can remember he said, "Oh, Casey," he said, "you're not going to believe this." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "It's worse than we thought." And I said, "I don't want to hear it. I can't handle anything else. How could it be worse?" And he told me this guy that executed my brother, who had taken a leap of faith and given him a job, that executed my brother, shot him in the back of the head as my brother begged for his life. And then shot the foreman of the company, also in the head. This man, whose name was Eddie Gillespie, you can look it up, Kansas Department of Corrections. Eddie's dead now, as I understand it. Died in prison. But my brother said, this guy that shot our brother Bob had been paroled by the state of Illinois. Are you hearing me, Governor Pritzker? You jackass? The state of Illinois. It wasn't Pritzker's doing that pardoned him. It happened long before that. But isn't it crazy how we're dealing with the same screwed up state, criminal justice wise, that we have to send the National Guard there and Pritzker's fighting it? It's the same state that paroled a guy, and they paroled him for first-degree murder. They made him serve 7 years and let him out of prison in Illinois so he could go down to Kansas and kill 2 more people. 3 people in two separate incidents Eddie Gillespie took from this earth. And neither Illinois nor the liberal Democrat District Attorney Nola Folston in Wichita, Kansas, sought the death penalty for this guy. I had to tell this story. I've alluded to it before, but I've never told it like this. Until I saw what happened to that young Ukrainian woman on that Charlotte light rail car. I believe her name was Iryna. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Zarutska. When I found out that that guy that stabbed her to death, stabbed her 3 times, and we've most everybody's seen it, had been paroled 13 times. 13 times. Had been released 13 times. Had been in jail 13 times, had been arrested 13 times from 14 times now, I guess is what they're saying. There was no need for that girl to lose her life. There was no need for my brother to lose his life either. When you've stepped over the line and you've done something that involves you being sentenced to prison, we need to think, even if you're a liberal Democrat and you're borderline insane to begin with, you need to think about who you put back on the streets. What happened to my brother, I had to go pick up his clothes. The coat that he was wearing, this happened November 1st, 1996, for you internet sleuths that would like to look it up. I had to go pick up his jacket, and it was hard as a rock because it was soaked in his blood. When I saw what happened to that little girl, I think of all the horrible things I've seen in my lifetime and the experiences I've had that make me the fighter that I am. That is the worst thing I have ever seen. That little girl looked up at him with a look that said, "Why did you kill me?" I've never seen anything like it. God bless that family. I wouldn't want her buried here. I'd make the U.S. government pay every dime of sending her home first class, and man, I would hold somebody responsible for those 14 releases because of the horrible way my little girl died. Now, we're faced with Charlie Kirk too. Yes, I'm going to mention him in this video too. That is one of the worst things I've seen too. If I had to decide which one is worse, I don't know. I guess the little girl, because she was so defenseless, is slightly worse than the 2 horrible things that we've seen. But we can lay both at the hands of liberal ideology. And my message to you today is, and I feel uniquely entitled to give it to you because my family has paid in blood for it, just like the little Ukrainian girl, just like the Kirk family. My message to you is, if you go to the polling booth and vote Democratic, you need to have your head examined. Because people die because of these stupid, idiotic, criminal justice philosophies like no cash bail and clemency for hardened criminals and all that other crap that the Democrats spew at us. Now, with Charlie Kirk, I'm gonna talk to you about that too. But one thing I want to caution you about on Charlie Kirk, there's all kinds of stuff going around about Charlie. There's one person you can trust, when it comes to Charlie Kirk. And I think one person that's giving you the straight story, and I'm very afraid for that person. And that person is Candace Owens. I don't especially like saying that because you can tell I love Israel, and I know Candace doesn't that much, but I do, and I'm devoted to Israel. But I believe Candace is onto something, and I believe she's telling the truth. All these other people, including Benjamin Netanyahu, are full of crap. So trust Candace and pray for her safety. And also, think about who you vote for Christ's sake in the next election. It's not just something to be shrugged off. It could be life or death for you or someone in your family. It was for me. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later.